Hello everyone, this is Diane. Welcome to my pretty pink cottage. We're going to do a craft with me video today. I'm going to show how I will transform these books, one of these books, into a beautiful little journal cover. And I'm not even using this as my next journal project, not yet. But I'll tell you why I want to do this project today. But first, I want to say hello and thank you to Roseanne and Carol, and I'm going to call her Carol from California because that's how she always signs her comments. And both of these ladies are regular viewers and commenters on my channel, and I really appreciate it. So I just wanted to say thank you to you lovely ladies. So the reason that I want to do one of these covers when I'm not even planning on making it into a journal yet is because I recently acquired a stack of these books, and I already had some in my stash. These were already in my stash of books to use. So I snatched them up. I got them at an excellent price, and I snatched them up knowing that I could share them with you, and I kept a few more for myself because I'm going to show you what a wonderful, adorable, sweet, cute little journal these make. They are weekly reader books from the Just Ask series, and without the spine. Once you take the spine off the cover, it's about 4.5 by 9, almost 9.25, so it's a long and narrow size. I'm going to set these aside because these will be in my shop. Either I've already put them in when you see this video, or they will soon be in. This is not a video to advertise that they're in my shop. I will do a video when I have other books to list, so there will be a separate video just to show the listings. But I just wanted to do this video to show you how you can use these long and narrow books. So this is what they look like, just a skinny little spine. I cut that off. And they have cute pages. You can use the pages for other projects if you want to, or use them in these books too. But there's this little mouse that is in all of the books. So he must be the one with all the questions. But I am not going to use any of this, and probably none of the pages in this particular journal. I just want to completely transform this. So I've already taken the book block out of this one, and I'm just going to finish trimming off these edges. Now, I had made a few journals with these type of books a few years ago, and I still have, like I said, I still had some in my stash that I've been wanting to do. So since I bought more, I figured this was a good opportunity for me to actually pull some out and get started at least. I'm trying to trim as close to the book board as I can. So I'm kind of, without copying the one I did on a video, and I'm going to remember to link the video below so that you can click on that and see the journal that I made with one of these books a couple years ago. And I thought the cover turned out so cute. So I'm kind of following a model, and what I remember of it is I covered it with a paper, scrapbook paper, and I used a journaling card. So I pulled out, I just spent some time, I'll tell you, looking through my stuff, pulling out cards and images that I could use. So what I had on that was the scrapbook paper, a journaling card, and an image from a children's book. And I don't remember if there's anything else on the cover, but so I'm kind of using that, excuse me, that formula. And I think this was actually the card that I used. Today's beautiful moments are tomorrow's beautiful memories, because I think I named the journal Beautiful Moments. No, it was called Timeless Treasures, but it was a card very similar to this. So I pulled out a whole bunch. So you see, it could be something really pretty and with a nice quote, or something retro and childlike, or beautiful botanical images. I would love to do different things with these journals. And these tall cards, these are Tim Holtz cards. These are great for that. shape and size of journal. And these slender bookmarks, I would probably cut that part off, but she would be pretty on there. Got several of those bookmarks. And then a photograph. This is a ephemera piece, but if you have photographs, that would be fun to put on there. And just some more journaling cards. So whatever style you like to work in, go for that. And then I went through my book illustrations, and I have so many things I could use. I have magazine illustrations and book illustrations and all kinds of ephemera that I could use to decorate, but I just wanted to stick with the same sort of things I used in the other journal, which were a journal card and a children's book illustration. So it could be something with a beautiful animal on it, or a cute animal, or a funny animal. I thought he was so cute. I love his colors. We have the 3 bears here. That would be cute. Some children, of course. All styles of any style, whatever you like. I love these little children. I even have this lady that was cut off of the cover of a Dover book, I think, and she would just barely fit if you wanted to do something like that. Or, you know, you might have something, a tall, slender lady like this from the 20s, maybe a little bit shorter would work better. And I even thought of this, you know, because I could trim that. But I love this picture of the little girl here. Oh, these were some that I had thought of as possibilities. I had this card, Family Brings You Home, Sweet Home, and thought this little boy and girl out in the woods, and maybe, you know, their brother and sister, and the colors went well, so that would be a fun. And it's a long, skinny picture. And this one that says beautiful. I thought this was cute in it, and also that one. I love that little picture, and I thought this would go with either one of those. And happiness is something that multiplies when shared. So I have a picture of a boy and a girl holding hands. Obviously that's Jack and Jill going up the hill to fetch a pail of water. But happiness is something that multiplies when shared. I thought that would be cute together. But I think for this one, I'm going to use this little girl. How sweet she is. And it's just a small picture. And this card, because I like the color. I like the noted on it. This is a nice quote. That would be a good journal title. But I like this one better for my style. So that's what we're going to go with. And then I had to decide on what kind of paper I would use. I love the color of this, but it matches that color too well, and it blends in too much. So scratch that one. That could be the end paper. I thought the yellow was nice. She has a yellow bonnet, and then these stand out from it. I would trim her. I think I would leave a little of the white around her, but I will trim her. And then so I thought I might use this one. Oh, I had also tried this one because it's got the same color, but it's darker, and so it stands out better. But I decided on some different color, contrasting color. So it would be either the yellow, or I tried this one out because she has a pink dress, and I really like the way they stand out from that paper. So this is what we're going to go with. So let's just get to it. I need to cut the paper so that it will fold around the top, the side, and the bottom. Doesn't have to on this side because this will be the bound edge. So I want to put it over here. I'm just doing this to measure. Just going to make a mark where I want to cut it. And since this book is so narrow, I can use one sheet to cover the front and the back. So this is, I'm going to make it 5 1/4. Oh, I should have cut this first, so I would have both of the pieces the same height. 5 1/4 by about 10 1/4. And I haven't done this in a long time. I used to do this all the time when I was making smash books and covering them completely with scrapbook paper. But this is what I always used to do, except I didn't use Fabri-Tac back then. But I'm using a glue stick to kind of make sure the paper sticks down to the surface of the book. But what I should have done first was I'm gonna put some Fabri-Tac on top of that. But I don't need as much as I would if I didn't use the glue, because I don't want it to like seep through or anything. So I'm gonna put it right close to the edges to make sure the edges stay down. Make sure I have it pretty well centered. Okay. And just use a brayer or something you can roll across, or a bone folder that you can use like a squeegee, just to make sure you smooth the glue out and get any bubbles out. And it just presses it right down onto the surface of the book cover and covers it up very nicely for you. I will do the same for the back cover. And then we will fold the paper over to the inside and put, I don't know if we'll put the end paper on now or when I put the book together. So this is the part that's going to be bound into the book. So I don't need to fold over on that end. Now, sometimes my corners aren't the best. If I try to cut close, I always end up with too much paper or not enough, and there's a little gap. So the best way for me personally to do it is to fold, try to stay in view of the camera, fold the corner first, and then I just kind of press it around the edges of the book. Put some glue there and press to help fold it over neatly so it doesn't bunch up. You can put a little bit of glue inside that, like even before you fold it up, just to help adhere those two sides of the paper together. And I like to do the short sides. It doesn't really matter, but I like to do them first. And you can kind of take your book and do that to help get the crease started there. I don't know why that corner doesn't want to glue down. Press it down good. Okay, now that's staying. And those corners look pretty good. See that? Now, because I do want to put the cover completely together if I can on this video, what am I doing? I'm going to go ahead and do the back side. I'll try to do it more quickly with no talking. Quickly but neatly. Sorry, that was a spam. I love it that my phone tells me when it's a spam risk. See, this glue usually dries much quicker than that. And these corners just keep popping up. I just need to be patient. So in the past, before I had Fabri-Tac, I would use my red tape to do all of this. But the Fabri-Tac is great. This isn't a super thin paper, so maybe that's why. It's not like a cardstock patterned paper, but it's not one of the really thin ones. So that might be why it's taking a little longer to adhere these little flaps and corners down. Okay, there we go. Now let's get to the fun stuff. I want to use these, and I don't know what else. I didn't get anything else out, but I'll probably need something else. I'm just cutting her out with a little white border. It's not white because this is a vintage book page. And I don't want her too close to the edge because I'll have fabric over here. Maybe I'll do it this way. Okay. Definitely feel like I need something else though, which I didn't think through ahead of time. to see what I find in my binder that I could use. I'm thinking a strip, so maybe I should look in my little pouch of strips. Where'd it go? I saw something that I wanted to investigate, and there. Thought that was cute, but it's not long enough. All right. I have these little printed embroidered flowers. They might be a cute addition. If those two are the right colors, might be able to use them. Here's my pouch of strips. Just had that out earlier today, earlier yesterday, I guess it was, doing the long line tags for Tag Tuesday. So you might see this video before you see that. So that's a cardstock. It's got little blue dots. That's cute. I don't want to stick it too much right now, in case I don't want to use it. Little scrap of a blue gingham strip. I'm not like, oh, that's definitely what I want to do, but I'm not averse to it either. So I just don't know what that means. Does it mean I should wait until I find the perfect thing? Or is this the perfect thing? I think what's throwing me is the shape. I would rather that she was, I don't know. I don't know what I wish her shape was. Not her, but the shape around her. She's perfect, just the way she is. I think that I do like this. So we're going to go for it. I am going to put a little ink around her border. I know that I could cut her in a perfect round shape, but I don't think that's what it needs. Yeah, I like that better already. I want to put this down on my non-stick mat and ink this also. So like I said, I will link the video for the first one that I did. And I had a weird way of putting a fabric spine on there, so ignore that. We're going to do it a better way than what I did in that video. And that video isn't a tutorial, it's a flip through, but I explain how I made like a pillowcase for my spine in muslin fabric. But that was when I was new to using fabric on my spine. So then you'll be able to see what else I had put on the cover of that one, because I just don't remember right now. Just a little bit of ink on the edges helps define things quite a bit. This strip is a little short, but I'm going to use it anyway. Because this has pale blue and this has some of the pink that's in the other pieces. There's a tiny bit of blue there. So do I want it up at one end or in the middle? I think I like it starting up at the top. I should glue them, shouldn't I? They seem to be glued down, stuck down good, but I'm gonna add some glue, at least to this one. I think this is stuck down good. And I want to try doing a fashion one with one of these books and a nature one. No, I don't want to just use the children's book images. I want to see how they look with all the other different styles. A vintage one. And I think I kept 10 books for myself, so I can have a lot of fun playing with them. Want her in the center because I might put a seam binding around it or put a hitch fastener there, and I just don't like things to be perfectly centered most of the time. Sometimes it calls for it. I think this is going to be cute. Oops, I want her on top of that card. These sticker borders I've had for years, so I don't know where they came from. Alright, now I don't know how much we're going to get done on actually putting the cover together. I wanted to have it all together with the fabric in this video, but I don't know if we'll be able to make it. This is coming up. And I don't want to rush so that I do a poor job. This is a piece of Tyvek. I just use that. Even though I'm going to use fabric, I like to put Tyvek in there just to really reinforce. So to save time, I usually use my red tape for this step, but I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because a lot of people just do the Fabri-Tac and not the red tape. So just to save time, I'm going to do that. So I'm lining them up. I'm using my mat. Oh, you can't see. I'll do it up higher. I'm using the lines on my mat, the grid, to line the corner of my book. And so the edge of the book is on one line and the bottom of the book is on another. And then I use that to line up my other pieces, making sure that they are lined up on the bottom line. So where I would put red tape would be right along this edge and on all of the edges of the spine. And I'll put some in the middle too, put some glue in the middle. And on this edge. There's just a small space between the covers and the spine so that it has room to flex open and closed. And it doesn't matter if I slid it up and I slid the spine with it. Doesn't matter if the Tyvek isn't quite as long. I usually cut it just a little shorter because it doesn't matter. And I don't want it sticking up, even though it will be covered. Okay, now, can we choose a fabric? I don't want to try closing it just yet. I cut my spine, by the way, out of a chipboard that is, and I cut it 1.5 inches. My normal spine is 2 inches, but I wanted to just make these a little smaller. So I did a 1.5 inch spine, and I selected some fabrics that might go well. I didn't want pink because the cover is pink. I wanted to bring out this blue. So this matches this blue. Her blue is different, which I don't mind. I really like that one. And there's a floral that includes pinks and blues. That one's cute too. And that blue, these flowers kind of have both of the blues in it. Let me see. That is really cute. I don't know, I'm usually much better at making up my mind. I think I like the look of this one better, but I kind of want this one because of the blues. But I'm just going to go with what my eye likes better. Plus, this is a bigger piece. I might have to piece the other one together. So this, I don't think this is a Pioneer Woman fabric, but I think I bought it to go with the Pioneer Woman fabrics because it matched the colors. So I'm just going to cut this slightly wider than the Tyvek, and even that doesn't matter because it will be covered with paper. So if the Tyvek showed, I would still be putting paper over it. I don't know if this is long enough for this long book though. Oh, so close. So close. I would have had to piece this one anyway. So I'm just going to cut it so that it wraps around. And my Tyvek is showing a little bit. I don't think that is, yeah, it's not even. The part that I tore is even, but apparently I cut it on that end, and that's not even. So it's not straight. So I tore this edge, so now if I tear it again, it should be all the same width. That's probably why my Tyvek was showing, because that was a skinny part. Yes, that covers the Tyvek. We probably won't have time to add the trims along the edges of the fabrics, but you've seen me do that lots of times. You've seen me do this part lots of times. I just want to get this cute little book as close to finished, the cover, as I can. So my time is usually about 45 minutes. I try to stick to that because sometimes I can get to an hour, but sometimes I can't and my camera just shuts off. So I stick to 45 minutes. But I think today, oh, my battery light is flashing now. I think today I'll just keep going, and if it shuts off, it shuts off. So I'm not sure when I will get those books listed, and I'm not sure when this when this video will be published. But I just wanted to give you an idea of how adorable, because you might look at those books in my shop and say, why would I want that? I mean, they are cute, but I guess it depends on your style. They wouldn't be my style of junk journal, but when I transform them, they are. So I could put a piece of this here. And I know that the fabric is ragged because I tear it. It gives me the straightest line, but I cover it with paper or lace. Sometimes the fabric puckers where you tear it. Depends on the content of the fiber content of the fabric, but it will be covered. My daughter asked me what I wanted for my birthday next month. And I said, I think I'm going to need to buy a new camera. And they're very expensive. So maybe just some money to go toward a new camera. I'll have to buy batteries and chargers and stuff to go with it. Unless it's compatible with what I have. But I think I need new batteries anyway, because my batteries don't last very long. I use them every day. You know, this camera and these batteries get a lot of wear and tear. And I really hate to have to buy a new camera, but I've decided that I really need to start taking pictures again. Since my husband died, I just kind of stopped doing a lot of the things that I used to enjoy. And even when my family gets together, I don't get my camera out. I used to have my camera out all the time. I used to go for walks and take pictures of the trees and the sky and the flowers. And I just don't anymore. But I decided that I would like to do that again. So the camera wouldn't just be for making videos and taking pictures of my projects. Now, where's that paper that I liked? Where did I put it? I really wanted that for the end paper. There it is. So instead of using the ruler, I just eyeball it. Well, I don't really eyeball it. I lay it on and make a mark where I want the paper to go. Make sure we have the right height. Could have been slightly taller. Bye-bye, mouse. And now you cannot identify this book. I love these colors together. I probably won't put lace on the inside because the paper covers the raw edge of the fabric. So I would go through a lot of red tape to put a book cover together, especially doing a smash book, because they were bigger. And I would put these on. I put everything together with red tape. Oh, that is so cute. I want to make a journal with that. And I really love that it's a 1.5 inch spine instead of a 2-inch spine. Oh, we're almost done. I need to find a little bit of lace. So I do have some other projects to do before I make these, but just getting this one cover done makes me excited to do some of these, and I can't wait to try it in different styles. I really want to do a fashion one I'm very excited about these. I've got 10 of these to do. Maybe. You know, Jessica Rapp and some other people will do huge batches of books with the same style and then sell them all at once, put them in the shop all at once. I'm just afraid I would sell 2 or 3 and then they would sit there. So I don't know if I'll do that. I get impatient too. If I have a couple done, I'll want to get them in the shop. But maybe I could do 2 in this style and 2 in a fashion style, or even 3. And then 1 with flowers, nature, 1 with grungy. So I'd be really interested to hear your ideas on this kind of a book. Now it makes me want to not sell the other covers, but I don't need more than 10. I have so many other books to make, so I will put, I think I have 8 to put in the shop. We might make it. There. What do you think? It went from being a book like this to being a book like this. I love it. It is so cute. I love the colors. I love her beautiful little face. And I think it's a really, really cute cover, and it just makes me excited to get going on the other ones. So I think that's going to be the end of this video. I'll probably do something else to the insides, put a book plate and a pocket like I usually do. But yeah, it looks really, really cute. So thank you for watching. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope that you're interested enough to go to my shop and find one of these books. I was thinking I would put them in sets of 2 and sell them, and then that, I think I have 8 books, I think, so that would be only 4 people could get them. So I'm not sure if I should do it that way. What do you think? Might be too late. By the time you see this video, they might already be in the shop. I think I will list them in sets of 2. Yeah, that's so fun. I love it. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a creative day today. Bye-bye.